According to the Japanese Fisheries Agency's report, International Situation Concerning Bonito and Tuna Species, the total global catch of tuna in 2019 was 2.28 million tons. Tuna, an essential part of Japanese cuisine as used for sushi and sashimi, is becoming increasingly popular around the world. In Japan, Aomori Prefecture has the largest number of catch of large bluefin tuna, 30 kilograms or more, which is sold as the highest quality tuna in the market. The name of bluefin tuna varies depending on the port and time of year in which it landed. Bluefin tuna from the Tsugaru Straits is often extra large and can weigh 200 to 300 kilograms, and the tuna caught in Oma in Aomori Prefecture is famous as Oma tuna. Tuna caught in the waters around the towns of Sotogahama and Nakadomari near Cape Tapi at the tip of the Tsugaru Peninsula is becoming increasingly popular, following the popularity of Oma tuna. Fukaura tuna, caught near the town of Fukaura on the Japan seaside, typically weighs around 50 kilograms and is mainly caught by large fixed nets. Pole and line fishing and long line fishing are utilized in other surrounding areas in the Tsugaru Straits. Tuna fishing in Aomori begins in Fukaura on the Sea of Japan side, and as the tuna migrate with their food source, they move northward to the Tsugaru Straits. The tuna fishing season begins from around August in Kadomari, Tapi, and Minmaya around the Tsugaru Peninsula and in Oma, which is located at the northernmost tip of the Shimokita Peninsula. Large-sized tuna caught in the Tsugaru Straits or the Pacific Ocean that lands within the jurisdiction of the Oma Fisheries Cooperative are branded with the name Oma tuna, which is highly valued in the market. It is also called the Black Diamond, because it is sold at a high price every year in the first auction of a new year. The top quality, Oma tuna, is well known for tuna in Aomori, but the district of Fukaura on the Sea of Japan side of the prefecture has the largest catch of tuna in the prefecture. Most of the tuna that comes in Fukaura are bluefin tuna, which is usually caught from around May to November, peaking in June and July. Until August, the fishing method is fixed net fishing. From September onward, pole and line fishing and long line fishing become the main methods. There are mainly 5 tuna fishing methods. Ippunzuri, catching fish with fishing poles, in Oma, Aomori Prefecture, is famous. However, most tuna are caught through long line and purse seine fishing methods. In addition, they are caught in fixed nets or drag nets. Fishing methods change depending on which kind of tuna fishermen are trying to catch or in which sea they are attempting to do so. The methods also change depending on whether the tuna will be eaten as sashimi, thinly sliced raw fish, or canned. We will introduce 3 representative fishing methods with CG animations. Long line fishing method. The long line fishing method sinks long lines with baited hooks attached to branch lines in the course of a school of tuna like a sudair bamboo blind. In this method, the bodies of the fish are not easily damaged, though it depends on the time required for the fishing boats to pull up the catch onto their boats. Therefore, this technique is used to secure tuna for sashimi. In the case of large-scale fishing in distant seas, the total length of the lines is as long as 150 kilometers. The interval between hooks is 50 meters. The method can catch tuna whose weight is more than 300 kilograms. In long-line fishing, fishermen first look for birds in the sky that target fish that are consumed by tuna. Purse seine fishing method. The purse seine fishing method is a large-scale fishing method that encircles a school of tuna with a net and snares them. In Japanese coastal waters, 4 fishing boats work as a team in many instances. Many fishing boats that use this method are based in Sakai Minato on the Sea of Japan side and Shiogama and Choshi on the Pacific Ocean side. If fishermen find a school of tuna, they encircle them while dropping a net and make the net like a ring. Then, they narrow down the lowest part of the net and make it like a bag. This is an effective method. As the fish become violent and thrash about in desperation, they can become damaged and their quality drops. As the net also catches other species of fish and juvenile fish, some critics point out that the method easily leads to overfishing. Play video. Fixed net fishing method. Tuna have a practice of migrating to the same area of the sea in the same period. Fishermen place a net in the sea and wait for them. This coastal fisheries practice is called fixed net fishing. It is conducted in such places as the sea off Sado Island in Niigata Prefecture in summer. In the method, fishermen first build a kakiyami fence net in the sea. Then, they guide the school of tuna, which encounter the net, to what is called the playground. After that, the tuna are cornered into the nobariami rising net, and further to the pakoami box net, so that they cannot escape. In the final stage, fishermen take them with spoon nets. In this method, living tuna are caught in the sea undamaged. Major countries that harvest tuna are located in Asia and South America. Japan caught the largest volume of tuna in the world for many years. The country took 300,000 tons to 400,000 tons a year, with 1963 as the peak. Since 2002, however, the annual volume has decreased sharply due to a decline in the population of the fish and limits on the catch. Then, replacing Japan, other countries in Asia and South America, such as Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines and Mexico, are dramatically increasing the volume of their catches. The number of countries that made inroads into the tuna industry has also increased. Until the 1960s, countries that caught more than 100,000 tons of tuna a year were only Japan and the United States. However, the number of those countries increased to about 10 in the 2000s. In addition to the increase in the number of fishing boats, the use of fish aggregating devices, FDA, which attract fish, became popular in the 1990s, leading to the increase in the entire volume of catches. By kinds of tuna, the catches of Kahada, yellowfin tuna, are consistently increasing. It was mainly used for processed products, such as canned fish. Due to the spread of quick freezing facilities, it is now also used for sashimi, thinly sliced raw fish, and sushi. The ways to use Kahada are increasing. Japanese fishing boats that are engaged in long-line fishery decrease. Meanwhile, the number of Japanese fishing boats that use the long-line fishing method to catch tuna for sashimi are continuing to decrease. That is mainly because of high crude oil prices and a sharp rise in personnel costs, which make it difficult for those boats to make them. Most of the tuna caught here are around 50 kilograms. Fukaura tuna is slightly smaller than tuna caught in other areas of the prefecture, but it has a good reputation for its flavor and moderate fat content. The town of Fukaura offers Fukaura tuna steak donburi, a local delicacy using Fukaura tuna. You can enjoy Fukaura tuna in 3 small bowls: a sashimi bowl, a one-sided grilled steak bowl, and a two-sided grilled steak bowl. Let's turn our thoughts to an awful, apocalyptic dystopia. Imagine a world without tuna. No toro nigiri, no akami sashimi, no fiery tartar or mild tataki coated in sesame. I'm not talking about it running out or becoming extinct as a species, but a planet where our titan of the seas is unloved, suffering rejection, disregard. Well, for decades it did experience that emptiness of rejection, emigrated, and was caught. It all changed at the dawn of the 1920s, a little more than a century ago, and above all after World War II. Because today our beloved bluefin unquestionably rules the sushi roost, streets ahead of any other catch, nothing more than foot soldiers in the world of raw fish. Japanese cuisine would be bereft without its imposing presence. Imagine a Basque barbecue without T-bone steak. We would never have fully experienced what umami means, through our taste buds and our grey matter alike. Here we explain how it first made its mark, because bluefin tuna did not claim the crown easily, or overnight. History tells us that none of my fellow countrymen viewed it as a particularly tasty morsel. Quite the opposite. In the early days of the Edo period, the era when Japanese gastronomy first flourished, it was known as gezakana, meaning poor quality, inferior fish. Our prized tuna was left to the lowest echelons of society, those workers on the most pitiful of wages, on the very brink of poverty. They were untroubled by its metallic, iron-like taste, the result of fermentation, incipient putrefaction and extreme yake. In the 19th century it was sold by street hawkers for a shockingly low price. Bargain basement fuel to keep body and soul together. Many would bury it for 4 days, to completely ferment the acidified red meat, and make it halfway edible. Or they would plunge it into icy water, soy, marinate it for as long as possible, soup, to rid it of those unwanted traces. What is more, the maguro was in the past known by other names in Japanese: honmaguro, maguto, meji, yokoa, amoshi, kuroshibi and shibi. The last of these is pronounced the same as the expression for the Day of the Dead, leading many to believe that those who ate it would suffer terrible misfortune. Times gradually changed. Around 1830 there was a bumper tuna catch in Japan, which encouraged a number of restaurateurs to begin rehabilitating the fish, purely to make use of it, boiled or grilled, with little flavor. It should be recalled that tuna has been eaten in Japan for more than 1,000 years, according to culinary archaeologists. The problem, though, always lay in its size and transportation. It was difficult to fish on the high seas, and there was no way to keep it properly fresh on the journey back to shore. The arrival of technology-blessed refrigeration allowed for more extensive distribution, and as people gradually grew used to coming across its wonderful red flesh in the form of sushi, they overcame their disdain. The fattier cuts of the fish were still, though, regarded as little more than junk food. The belly, reviled for its fattiness, was until recently mixed in with other fish meals to make cat food. Once peace returned after the Second World War, the US occupation, and Japan's fascination with Western culture, gradually saw a more global diet begin to take hold in my homeland, including red meat and fattier cuts, which paved the way for tuna and toro to become more widely accepted. Commercial aviation also helped a great deal here. During the boom of the Japanese export economy, the freight executives of many airlines promoted Atlantic bluefin tuna for sushi, to provide something to nibble on while killing time on such a long flight. In the 1960s, toro began to make a name for itself among the general public, ultimately laying claim to Planet Sushi. When the Kawafuku restaurant first opened in Los Angeles in 1966, the Michelin Guide asserted that it was the first genuine sushi restaurant anywhere in the country. And then the 1980s came around, and it became all the rage. The Japanese chef Gene Nakayama, from the Manaki restaurant in Los Angeles, supposedly invented spicy tuna nigiri, and the Hollywood celebs went mad for it. Another plot twist lay around the corner at the dawn of the new millennium. A tuna caught off the port of Oma attracted a price of €180,000. No one had previously taken notice of the tuna fishing culture of this city at the northern tip of Japan, a 10-hour car drive from Tokyo, which helped popularize sushi culture. Oma Tuna Black Diamond, as they call it, enjoys the same reputation as Kobe beef, and typically wins the thrilling New Year tuna auction, to which we will shortly be returning in another post. All I will reveal for now is that in 2020 a restaurant magnate paid €180,000 for a 276-kilo fish from this town with a population of little over 5,000. Scarcely anyone can now recall th. My research aims to use fixed nets to selectively catch target fish species, such as yellowtail and sea bream, while avoiding small bluefin tuna that weigh less than 30 kilograms. The question of how to avoid small bluefin tuna and how to catch them are two sides of the same coin. We are trying to quantitatively understand the mechanism of how small tuna enter the fixed nets. At night, small bluefin tuna wander into the fixed nets as their visual field is limited to perceive the nets. As dawn breaks and sunlight increases, they become trapped inside the fixed nets as they stay away from the netting which they are now able to see. The entry and exit of the fish increase on days when the seawater is murky, as their visual field becomes limited. These findings may appear to some fishermen as interesting but as common sense. However, this mechanism was not scientifically discovered until this research was conducted. By widely sharing this information, I hope it will give some clues to the fishermen on improving their fixed net structure and allowing them to catch the kind of fish they want, whenever they want to.